Okay, another key feature of American society in the 1920s was intolerance. America was a society which had been, or was a country which had been founded as the land of the free, the land of opportunity, and as a result of that you have, over the years since its independence, large numbers of immigrants arriving into America, and this continues all the way up until 1920s and into the 1930s. Many of those immigrants who arrive often have different ideas about how the country should be run, and many of them are often poor and unskilled labourers. At this time, the people who are in the higher echelons of power in America tend to be referred to as WASPS, which means that they are white, Anglo-Saxon Protestants. And they have a particular idea about the way in which things should be done. And they are resistant to any alternative ideas, and they certainly don't want immigrant factions becoming powerful in America. There are two key cases which you may well be asked about in your exam about how this intolerance manifests itself. The first one is the Sacco and Vanzetti case, which was a murder case. Essentially it was a robbery that had gone wrong and two people ended up being killed. Sacco and Vanzetti were two Italian immigrants who were arrested for this murder. They were also anarchists, so they believed in getting rid of government. When they were arrested, there was some coincidental evidence which tied them to the case. So, for example, they were found with a gun, which was the same sort of gun that was used to murder the two people murdered in this case. They were also found in a car, which was a car suspected of being involved in this murder case. However, this coincidental evidence was widely disputed, with both sides, both the prosecution and the defence, arguing at length about the validity of either side's claims. I think there was something like 70 eyewitnesses said that they saw Sacco and Vanzetti at the scene of the murder, and about 100 said that they saw them not at the scene of the murder, with both sides accusing each other of trying to manipulate these figures. The sensation of the case went all across the world, especially to the Western world, and if you can see on the picture behind me, this is actually a demonstration for saving Sacco and Vanzetti from being executed, which is actually taking place in London. Unfortunately, Sacco and Vanzetti, despite the dispute, were executed, and it is believed that the reason for them being executed was because of this this intolerance of immigrants in America at this particular time. Another case that you may well be asked about is the monkey trial. Now, the monkey trial centres around a case involving a teacher teaching the theory of evolution. Now, teaching the theory of evolution had been banned in Tennessee. It wasn't banned across the country, but there were certain states which had banned the teaching of the theory of evolution because they believed that what should be prevalent in education in schools is the teaching of the story of God creating the world in 7 days. Now, John Scopes, who was a biology teacher, decides to teach the theory of evolution to one of his classes. Essentially, he's looking to test the Constitution and freedom of speech. He believes that it's unconstitutional that teaching the theory of evolution should be banned. As a result, he ends up getting himself arrested, and upon being arrested, the trial, similar to Sacco and Vanzetti, becomes a sensation, and everybody is very interested to know what it is that's going to happen to John Scopes as a result of him essentially expressing his right to freedom of speech. The judge finds Scopes guilty, and again is indicative of the intolerance for new ideas which is held by those people who are in positions of influence, like judges, for example. In Tennessee, the teaching of creation, the teaching of evolution continues to be illegal, and people are encouraged to have to teach according to the teachings of the Bible.